Good evening. Welcome everyone to the March 27th meeting of the Metroplex Board. Our first item in the agenda tonight is the call to order, followed by the approval of the minutes of our February 21st meeting. We have a motion. Brad, seconded by Sharon. Any discussion, changes, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting the minutes say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next up is our treasurer's report.
So our total income actual through the end of February is $918,926. We're a little light, but it is the beginning of the year, so I anticipate us catching up on that during the course of the year. We have cash and equivalents of $6,495,042, and we have $7,444,675 in undistributed project commitments. Our pre-development budget has an available balance currently of $384,875. So things are starting to move along a little bit more, I anticipate us to catch up on the sales tax revenue over the next couple of months.
Great. Have a motion to accept the treasurer's report. Sharon, seconded by Doc. Any discussion, questions? All those in favor of adopting it, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We have a number of resolutions tonight. We start on Lower Union Street, corner of a very critical corner downtown where Little Italy and Union Street come together. And we'll ask David to summarize our project at 421 Union.
At 421 Union Street is the former JoJo's Auto Service. You'll see those iconic archways leading into the Little Italy corridor. Unfortunately, that building and the one next to it, which we did a project last month at 417, really detracted away from the Little Italy neighborhood. We're going to move forward with a $40,000 grant for a $388,000 renovation of the property. Terry Aldrich, who we talked about as the owner of 417 Union, he is moving forward with a tap room, eatery. He is the owner of the Backstreet Pub. Our involvement, again, I said $40,000. Resolution 171324 is the secret the findings. It's an unlisted action. Obviously, renovating this building and get it back to productive use will be nothing but positive. And then 171424 is the acceptance of the grant and sales tax exemption.
I have a motion on the first resolution. Karen, need a second. Sharon. I often wondered why they did, in previous to my coming to Metroplex, why the Little Italy archway was done and why some of that whole project was done when at the gateway to Little Italy sat this vacant garage. And no one has ever really given me an answer to that. But there were a lot of things about the Little Italy project that were askew. We've straightened them out. We sold that parking lot. We put MAPCO in there. We've done a bunch of facades. We're very fortunate that we did the More Parekas project. We're very fortunate that Cornell's is back and doing great. And this is just the corner, the key corner on Lower Union and North J. And Hunter's is down there. It's a great venue. This has just been vacant, blighted, and we've finally got it under control. And we've got a good operator. And normally we're not doing restaurant deals. This isn't really a restaurant deal for us. It's just a small facade grant, and the sales tax exemption is in there as well. Correct, David?
Yep.
To try to give it a little boost because it's rough. Nothing's been done in this building for years and years and years, and it just sits there. It just takes away. We could go to Daly's, the streetscape and the planters. That everything in Lower Union Street really looks nice except for this building. So we're really excited to move this forward and happy to answer any questions.
I want to know what it's going to look like when it's done. Anything is better than what it is, but I'm very excited. There weren't any renderings in.
There's not a rendering in here?
No, we had the existing picture.
Yeah.
We have some early site plans. He still has to go.
I'm just, when you get them, if you could share them with the
people
team.
do interesting things with old garages, things adaptive use for, as you know. So we're really excited about it, and we want to see this move forward.
Yeah, the city has expressed some interest in him really using some of the asphalted area as patio, put in a little bit more landscaping.
Okay.
Again, make the whole corner very,
it's a
very
big
attractive.
corner.
It is. It'll be great when it's done. So, good job.
Sure.
Yeah, I would just like to say that I think it's wonderful. I really do. And to your question, I think that there was some kind of historic money or something that was available. And that's when they did the archway.
Okay.
Because I remember that we spent hours and hours going through that and the
Right.
naming and everything.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Great. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll call the question on the secret resolution. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next is the adopting the general project plan. Have a motion on this? Karen, second by Sharon. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we go to J Street and ask David to summarize the project involving 2 buildings that brings new retail to the J Street Marketplace.
Yeah, definitely. So if you haven't been to Simone's yet, it's just an absolute terrific eatery. Very, very popular at the gateway to the pedestrian plaza on J Street. The owner, Bashir Ched, what's his last name? Chedawi?
I just call him Bashir.
I call him Bashir. He is just
It's Bashir.
it's Bashir. He is a fantastic individual. He just joined the DSIC board. He was here yesterday. He is just such a guru for Schenectady and you know, the opportunity that he's had here for his business. He's looking to make his next move with something called Connie's Creative Collective Project. This uses the storefronts at 131 and 133 J Street. That was the former Dilly Bean Cafe, and then the J Street Collective, to come up with a new model that will continue to add more retail to J Street. In addition, a place for desserts, ice cream, and other attractions along that for food retail on J Street. So he'll do about $155,000 to fit up the establishment, and you know, he's going to bring his energy just as he did with Simone's to make a very successful new addition to J Street.
Have a motion on this? Aaron, second by Brad. Bashir is great. He's opening in Stuyvesant Plaza, he's reopening in Coxsackie. He runs the restaurant portion of Electric Grinch. He has a takeout food service at Mohawk Harbor. I mean, he's a very dynamic, creative, entrepreneurial person. Loves Schenectady, loves being on Simone's Kitchen, as David said, is just a home run. And he saw these underutilized spaces next to him, and he said, I want to do something with these spaces. So it's a very modest. All of our money goes into fitting up the spaces. People say, how much money did you give that company? We say, we never give money to companies. We put the money into the spaces. And so these are storefronts that need some work, some retail spaces that will bring these retail spaces back. And the occupancy level at J Street is at an all-time high right now. Just as an aside, the Saratoga Coffee folks got into some issues with their Saratoga property, which is forcing them to sell the business. They've had 12 inquiries, serious inquiries, in the last week since news came out that they wanted to transfer the lease and ownership of the property to another vendor. So there's a lot of good activity on J Street right now. We're very proud of that. So we're hoping that this can move forward and get adaptive reuse of two storefronts that are really underutilized now. So a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we go up the hill, up Museum Drive to my side, and ask David to summarize Resolution 1716-24.
I know Ray's been working very closely with MySci overall as an institution. This project particular is for upgrades to the planetarium space. It's a $70,000 project that will allow them to bring in some of the new immersive experiences. As anyone's been to the immersive experiences at the Armory of Van Gogh, Monet, and now Dinos Alive, they're very popular. There's this particular show that they're looking to bring in. To do that, they need to upgrade their Dolby Digital surround sound, have a new projector installed, and then make some repairs to the seating within the planetarium. Planetarium is one of their biggest draws to the museum, 17,300 visitors annually, and 5,400 which are students. So it's a nice investment.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to recuse myself of that, so I'll be out there.
Okay, we'll bring you back. And that's, Brad is on the my side board, so we thank you for doing that. I need a motion and a second on this. Sharon and Karen, thank you. As David said, we did an exhaustive review of my side. They briefly looked at options outside our county. They have recanted that and have made a commitment to stay and grow in Schenectady. The county has made a commitment to work with them on the condition of the building. We're preparing a building condition RFP that'll go out hopefully next week. Angela Santa Barbara, our assemblyman, has been extremely helpful and is hoping to secure some state funding to help stabilize and enhance the building. This is something we worked on before some of the MySci issues developed, because we were so excited about this immersive show and the fact that it could draw a lot more people to the planetarium. As David says, it already draws 17,000 people a year at Schenectady. We think this can do a lot more. We've talked to other places that have other planetariums that have hosted this show, and it's been very successful, sellout shows. So we wanted to bring it here. This requires the museum to make a commitment to stay in Schenectady, and otherwise we wouldn't disperse this funding. It's a very modest amount of funding, but like a couple of things at the museum we found were, not in a good state of repair. The planetarium is not. This fixes it, gives it a new life, and is a people generator. When we used to talk about when we first started our work downtown, we were desperate for things to bring people to Schenectady. How do we bring people here? The cinema, Proctor's, the casino. Coffee places, other places, so anything that brings people to town. The planetarium does bring people to Schenectady, and it needs some help. And this is, I think, a modest investment on our part. So happy to answer any questions or get any comments. Yes,
Ray,
sure.
is the county going to be involved in the study? I mean, are they?
They're leading it.
They're
yes.
leading it.
Yes.
So the facilities can.
Facilities team and our planning department, which I run, and in tandem with Bill Sweet, who's on the MySite board member, who's their facilities chair, who's very capable. So we'll be looking at all of the issues related to the structure, and our review of it showed that it was in good. We believe it's in good shape. And there's some underutilized space. There's a couple of options for the collection. We're very optimistic, and they did not have the financial wherewithal to undertake a big expansion in another community. So I think they realized that, and we all came together and made an agreement to stay and grow in Schenectady.
Great, thank you.
Any other comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Speaking of bringing people to Schenectady, Brad can come back in. Thank you. Thanks, Steve. The bike trail is really one of our best assets, and we continue to make improvements to the bike trail. And we'd ask David to summarize these two resolutions related to trail signage.
Yeah, if anyone's been over to the Elko Trail through Mohawk Harbor, those interpretive signage, it's very popular. If you're trying to if you're wearing a smartwatch or something, trying to keep your intervals, you're going to stop a lot once you see these interpretive signs. So it might not be good for your workout. But this is the next step here, working with 2K Design. Discover Schenectady Metroplex, obviously the county, came up with a new sign package for the 22 miles, the Empire State Trail that go through Schenectady. They involve not only welcome signs, etiquette signs, but 12 interpretive signs, which is a different package for developing those versus being able to do in-house signs through the county. You'll see the 12 areas that they're looking to feature from the Stockade, GE, Knowles Atomic Power Lab, Union, and others. Proud history we have here. It'd be great for people who are coming through to see it. Our involvement is $30,000 for fabrication and installation of the 12 signs. Because of the historic nature of the canal, we went through and did the State Environmental Quality Review Act. It's an unlisted action, obviously positive impacts on the environment. So any questions, let me know.
Thanks for your motion and second. Karen, second, Bob, thank you. We're installing in the next week or two. It wasn't for the snow, it would have been this week. Trail etiquette signs. Trail has been really busy, growing in popularity. The Buffalo to Albany Trail, one of the most visited spots is the Niskayuna train station. The trail is packed, and post-COVID, it's even busier. Kind of under the old regime in the county, there was a period of they just didn't believe in investing in anything, so there's no signage on the trail at all. I mean, this is bizarre. So we worked and we've shared this with all the towns, all our partners in the towns, and we talked about the River Loop Trail earlier this year. This starts with a welcome to Schenectady County, and thank you for visiting Schenectady County signs. It continues with some trail etiquette signs, stay on the right. I thank Jennifer for helping me edit all these. Those are going up in the first tranche of signs. The next group is this group. And the county fabricated those signs and installed those. This group, it's a bigger, more complex job. I'd encourage you to go in and look at them. They're beautiful designs. They really are. We put out a press release on this, got great public feedback. So we're going to have the county handle the bidding for this. Steve Feeney's quite an expert, and he did all the Alco signs, which are, as David said, are just fantastic. And so the county's going to handle and follow their procurement rules, their competitive bid. We think 30,000 would do it. And we may revisit this because the next step after these are in is we're going to be printing with Discover Schenectady itineraries. So come, park downtown, stay at the Landing or the Marriott, and ride your bike to this destination or that destination and publish some itineraries. So it's all part of that, tourism mindset that we now have in Schenectady, and we have the hotels and the infrastructure and the attractions to support it. So we're really excited to move forward with this. We worked really hard on these signs. The consultants did a spectacular job. I'd really take a minute if you can, because you'll probably learn something with some of the history that is represented and some of the great attractions that we have in Schenectady. Happy to answer any questions. Modest expenditure too, 30,000.
Great idea.
And again, if the bids come in lower, our grant will be lower. Seeing no questions, all those in favor of the seeker resolution say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, to adopt the general project plan, resolution 1718-24. Motion, Karen. Second, Bob. Thank you. And we're very excited to have the Glenville River Loop Trail open this year. All those in favor of that resolution, adopting the general project plan for the signage, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We go to a property sale off of Broadway and the so-called postage stamp lot.
Yeah, this is part of the Broadway South lot. It's the very back corner, an area that we've never really used. The only reason why we've named it is because it's been part of consistent cleanups by first a program that we did in 2015 through the environmental remediation program, and then National Grid came in and cleaned up the lot just this past year. It's ongoing, almost done. The cleanup is because this was once the former manufactured gas plant, Schenectady coal plant. We have some of the historic images of a large factory that was back there. National Grid is responsible for cleaning that up, all the contaminants that resulted from there. We have received a request from the neighboring property owner. If you look at the site map, Highbridge Development owns one of the areas that was cleaned up. They are looking to create more parking for some of their buildings that they own on Broadway. It's a piece that is not very important to our operation, but will serve as being very important to square off their parking area so that they can provide direct access from Clinton Street into the parking lot. We have to go through the authority budget office process to sell property. It's a 90-day notification period. We'll start that. We'll have an appraisal done, and we'll come back at a later point to let you know the results of that appraisal and move forward with the sale.
Yeah, we have excess property and we're not using it. We want to dispose of it, get it back on the tax roll. So have a motion on this? Get the money. Seconded by Sharon. Again, I'm a bore about Schenectady history, but before Schenectady invented the ability to generate and transmit electricity, which provided the world with light, people lit their homes with gas and coal and other things, and people stood around fires, and the lampposts were run by gas. And Grid, the predecessor company, National Grid, had a huge, gas facility down there, and it's been a constant cleanup that's been going on. I think Jamie, who was our previous executive director, took advantage of a DEC program that provided a huge match, 95%. And National Grid has been a great partner. I want to thank Danielle, who's gone to dozens of meetings about the cleanup that's been taking place there this year and last. It's all part of this effort. We've cleaned up a lot of brownfields in this county as part of our work, which is important to public health, safety, and everything else. So Grid has been a good partner. New York State DEC has been a good partner. John Roth has been a good partner. He has a lot of development on the Broadway corridor. He'd like to pick up some more parking spaces. We're not using it. Why not sell it? Any other questions or comments? We'll come back to you on this with the appraisal and the value and all that good stuff. But seeing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We go to our accounting contract.
You get into the fun stuff here, right? This is to retain Robert C. Crystal, PC. He has been with Metroplex, I think, from almost the beginning here, day one. He provided some additional financial support for the organization. The Finance Committee looked at his contract. We identified some cost savings based on some of the great work Tonya has done to take on some more of the financial oversight for the organization. We're looking to continue the engagement with Mr. Crystal for 2 additional years, $44,500 per year, which is a $13,500 savings over the previous 3-year engagement annually.
Motion on this? Thank you, Karen. Seconded by Brad. Good work. Want to thank Tony for all her hard work, David, the whole team. Karen, that's our finance chair. Any other comments for you folks?
I really got to give kudos to Tanya. I mean, she's saved the organization a lot of money. She's very efficient, very effective, and very confident in her capabilities and how she continues to save this organization money. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Well said. Any other comments? Love it when we get a cost savings on some of these recurring contracts. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of adopting 1721-24, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we go to the 5-year capital plan.
5-year capital plan.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
audit.
that's what-
Audit.
Audit, I skipped over it.
Audit.
I
You
am
don't
not an
wanna do
audit
the audit?
person, so I just meant to block that out. Compliance is
We
not my
can talk about that.
Thank you, sorry.
Lead on.
The audit is good, it's clean, and it's more good work by our finance team, and would ask David to summarize the 2023 audit.
Yeah, happy to present another clean audit, unqualified, no disagreements with Metroplex management. Those are the things that we like to hear. BST CPAs completed the audit. They presented to the Fiscal Audit Committee on March 20th. All in all, a great year for the authority. Record sales tax over $12 million, 9% increase over previous years. Operating expenses were up primarily because of the New York State local retirement system, how they calculate those expenses to the authority. But busy year. Ray keeps the staff busy, and we're happy to report that we're doing it in a way that keeps us having a clean audit.
Great, have a motion on this? Karen, seconded by Brad. Discussion. All in favor of adopting the audit, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Now we go to the 5-year capital plan, which is a statutory requirement of Metroplex. So I asked David to summarize.
Each year, we review the 5-year capital plan. I know Brad Lewis worked very, very hard with Jamie LaHutt to organize this report, which makes it easy for us to update it each year based on the improvements that we've made. We really look at our parking system as the areas where our capital improvement is focused. We do a regular assessment of the lots and the garage. We note the different investments that we've made over the past year. It was provided, the 5-year capital plan was provided to the board. We had a public hearing today. No one came with any public comments. And we'd like to move forward with approving it. Of note, we are going to do an updated garage assessment this year, just to make sure that we're keeping everything in good condition and preserving it for the future.
Have a motion on this? Sharon, second by Karen. I have to present this to the county legislature as part of this statutory requirement. So after we do this, I'll put this on the county. I'll ask the county legislature to consider this at the May meeting. Good report. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting the 5-year capital plan, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next up, we go to our annual reports, and ask David to give us a quick update on that.
Yeah, the 3 reports that we have to do as part of our authority budget office compliance. These reports get submitted, put on the website and submitted to the state by the end of this month. The mission statement and performance report and goals for the next year, the real property report, and the investment report. For the performance, again, another strong year. Ray highlights that in his annual report to the legislature. 63 economic development announcements, $345 million in new investment, planned 800 new jobs. Really a terrific year, and we anticipate another strong year in 2024.
No motion on this? Karen, second. Sharon or Bob? Let's get Bob. Any comments? We got to get this into the APO. That's one of the reasons we moved this meeting back. We appreciate everyone adjusting their calendar because we've got to get these in when, tomorrow? Friday?
31st.
Friday, thank you. We're not staying Saturday to do this, right? Or is
No.
Easter? Good. So we thank everyone for accommodating that schedule change. And you see their voluminous reports. We thank the entire staff for their diligent efforts to get these in. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next is a series of reauthorizing some of our existing reports and procedures, and we have these lumped in a consent agenda. Do you need to say anything about this, David?
No, the governance committee reviewed all of the policies, and these are as recommended by the governance committee.
Okay, we have a motion on this. Sharon, seconded by Brad.
We're doing them all together, correct?
Consent agenda, yeah, all of them together. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Public comment? I do not see anybody from the public here. We thank those for watching on cable access or on YouTube or any other means. We welcome your input. Any comment from the board on any subjects? If not, we'll take a motion to adjourn. Oh, one comment about the next meeting. It is scheduled for April 10th. We may again consider whether we need to meet in April. That is so quick now. It's like 10 days away. We had to move this meeting, as I said, to do all the reports by fiscal year end. So we'll keep you updated on that. If you don't mind being flexible again, we appreciate your patience with us and some of these schedule changes.
Can I just ask a question?
Sure.
When the trail signage is up, do we do anything on are we gonna like press release or
Oh, yeah.
put it on the
Want
web? Okay.
to go on a
Okay.
bike ride?
Yeah,
Go on a
I was
bike
gonna
ride with
say-
you.
No, we
I know we're great about press
yeah,
releases,
yeah.
but I think this is gonna be huge for the county.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah, it's the Alco signs have been really well received, and we have such a great story, such a great history, and this tells the story. But yeah, we will definitely do that. And again, the etiquette signs and the welcome signs should be going up in the next couple of weeks, which are really important as well because there's a lot of people on that trail. Good. Any other comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. See you soon. We'll get you the new dates. Thanks for everybody's attention tonight.